But what you need to know is that what she's endured, that chemotherapy, is what the bone marrow transplant really is.
Yeah.
You take a massive amount of chemotherapy, and anybody who has had cancer tends to have had chemotherapy, but it's targeted. We have a breast cancer, we have lung cancer, and we try to save the immune system in that process. But when you have a leukemia, they're trying to eliminate your immune system. They're eliminating your bone marrow, so they give you the mother of all chemos. And frankly, that's what makes the disease so dangerous. Is that is so.
That's why her liver number was elevated.
Yeah, it's so difficult to process that amount of toxicity in your body. But that's what has to happen. If you think of it as a computer, you're going in, you're wiping the motherboard clean, and then you're replacing that with the new bone marrow from your donor.
Well, the way it was explained to me would be like a garden where, the plants are growing. They nuke everything in the garden to where there's just dirt, and then they replant the seeds.
And reseed it.
And reseed it, and that's what the bone marrow transplant is.
It's a hell of a way to get rid of your dandelions.
I would say, yeah. But Joe Flacco's here. We're at Padonia Ale House. We're raising awareness, information. We're talking some football. We're having some fun. What's the weirdest part of being famous for you?
That's a random question, isn't it?
Yeah, what's the weirdest part?
Random
How
question.
do you back to football?
Seeing my jersey, probably. I don't know.
Is it really?
And having my name on the back of it, it's kind of weird.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Family? Think it's a little weird seeing their name on the back of jerseys?
I don't know. I never asked them that.
Do you talk to your family?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. All right, just good enough. I want to get some more football in here. So for this year, the differences, I guess, the similarities are you, John Harbaugh, the defense, Suggs and Nada coming back, all that kind of stuff. Tell me about Harbaugh a little bit, 7 years into this thing, that the offense has changed, but the program's the same. Is that the right way to say that? Is John changing, mellowing, different over the 7 years and different after winning in any way?
I don't know. I mean, you can definitely see changes, but I don't think they're changes in his overall personality. I think he's pretty much stayed the same and ran his program the same, but I think just like anybody, I think the longer you're in a profession and the longer you're doing something, the more you look for ways to get better and different ways to do things just because you think it might help your team out. So I think there's definitely been some things over the last couple of years that he's had people look into for him, and we've done some things in terms of keeping ourselves healthy and getting some rest and relying on some of the opinions of players here and there that he probably wouldn't have done early on, just because he was new to it and he was trying to put his stamp on everything and really get to the point where he can where he has the freedom to do what he wants to and really run it the way he wants to. But he had to come in here and really put his mark on it before he could start doing all those other things.
Is it easiest for you to understand the protocol to some degree, that you know what to expect from John, that it's gotten more even for you as a veteran guy? And I guess you're only as good as your veteran leaders, that when new guys do come in, when a new quarterback comes in, you know the drill and you can instill the drill in other people. Whereas when you got here, nobody knew the drill because it was all new. All they knew was the Billick way. Yeah,
no doubt about it. I mean, it definitely makes things easier and it makes the transition, easier and easier from year to year because teams do turn over a lot. And when you have new people in your locker room, you have to make sure that they're ready to do it our way, and there's no questioning it. So when you have as many guys as we do that have been with John as long as they have, or at least the top guys in the locker room, it makes it easier for us to kind of get our point across with everybody else and just kind of follow our lead.
Off-season issues, obviously. I was in Australia when the Ray Rice thing happened. 53 guys go 53 different ways in the offseason.
Yeah.
You see this stuff. I know you have great fondness for Ray. You like Ray. I like Ray. I think most people that have come in contact with like Ray. Just anything you want to say about the offseason at all? Just in general,
listen,
it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah, we've had some people get in trouble or being places they probably, wouldn't like to be in. But, I think you have to look at every situation individually and, really get the facts and understand it for what it was. And I think at the end of the day, all the guys that we've had are good people. And I think most of them have probably been dismissed in some way, as time has gone on, and things have been figured out and things have gone through the court or whatever they've had to go through. You never like to hear about those things because, it doesn't look great. But like I said, you have to get all the facts. And at the end of the day, they mostly involve alcohol and being out too late. And that's one of the things that they try to preach to us always is, just the importance of, getting home and, not being out drinking with everybody and stuff like that. But, like you said, 53 guys, more than that actually in the off season, going every different way. And, it's easy to get caught up, and it's easy for us to kind of get seen like that in bad places, and we have to be on high alert. And you don't want to see those things happen, but at the end of the day, they're going to, and it's how we respond to them. And I think our organization, I think the guys that have gotten in trouble, I think everybody's responded very well to it, and we've moved forward and ready to go.
As a sports radio guy and as a media dude, just tell these guys to stop. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
That's the biggest thing.
I hate talking about it.
So just stop talking about it. I don't like talking about it.
I was so happy that I was in Australia that I didn't have to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting questions about it, but I really don't know. I'm in bed by 9:30. This is my bedtime right now, Nestor.
What makes you so boring, Joe Flacco?
So I just like people to think I'm really, really boring. Maybe that, it's.
Well, I've known you 7 years. When's the excitement going to come out? I'm wondering. What do you do for excitement?
I don't, very few people get to see that, maybe. I can't have that side of me out there, man.
Well, listen, we're going to wrap things up. We've got a lot of people who want to take pictures with you. We raise money for a good cause. I'm telling you, I've done this for 30 years. This is the best of the best here. I don't want to kiss his butt too much because he'll think I like him too much. Next time he throws an interception, I'll be like, that Flacco, from up in my seats.
Yeah, it's all right.
Promise everyone you'll never throw another interception.
I wish I could make that promise, man. That would be awesome. The whole career. I think that would be a bad promise to make, though, because I think that would mean that I'm getting cut tomorrow. And I'm not playing ever again. That's the only chance that that's going to happen.
I don't think they can afford the cap.
So I'm not ever making that promise. I'll throw a lot of picks if that means I'm going to be in the league for 10 more years.
So when I put the question out online, and I said, if you could ask Joe Flacco one question, you want to laugh? I could open to Facebook and just read the questions. They're hilarious.
I'm sure.
The one was, can he lend me $1 million? I thought that was the best one.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen, Joe Flacco, Super Bowl MVP, out with us tonight at Padonia Ale House. Give it up for him. My thanks to Mike. My thanks to Eric Sauer, Peter, Deb, Mark, Larry, everybody out here at Padonia Ale House. Big shout out to Adams Jeep. Adams Jeep in Maryland, up in Aberdeen, doing the job right. AdamsJeep.com. We got the Ravens Jeep parked out in front tonight. First Mariner Bank, make the switch to First Mariner, Baltimore's hometown bank. Joe's Bank, and I'll say it, Pittsburgh. Freedmont Mortgage, 800-955-8508. You can visit them at freedmontmortgage.com. NMLS 1071. Thank you to all the Jen Strong Angels. We will continue this series at some point later on in August and September. And thank you to all of you that have wished my wife well and for being here tonight and for getting swabbed. Joe, moment of truth. You're going to get swabbed. Come on.
Yeah, look at all, of course. That's what we're here for, isn't it?
There it is. All right, he's going to get swabbed. We'll send it back out for the happy hours. I'm Nestor. You're listening to WNST, and a big thanks to everyone.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.